So do you also use Elementor for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to add Elementor Form submission in Airtable. So with here I'm running a real estate agency and we get the details of our potential clients with the help of our Elementor Form. So now what I want is that as soon as a new form submission is made in my Elementor, which is as soon as we receive the new details of the potential client, automatically the details of that client should be added into my Airtable without any manual efforts. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Elementor and Airtable. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So I'm going to do all of this so that I can convert my potential clients into paying clients. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen.
Welcome to my screen, everyone. So as you know, in this video I'll guide you through connecting Elementor Forms with Airtable to automatically add form submissions to your Airtable database. This integration helps you to streamline data collection, stays organized, and eliminate manual entry, ensuring every submission is stored accurately. So let's get started with a really simple example. So as I've already mentioned in my introduction that I'm running a real estate agency, and for that we use this property inquiry form. Okay, so let's say that my name is Smart User and I want to inquire about a property in Pune for 2 BHK, and this is the date I want the property visit for. Okay, so as you can see, I've selected all of these details and now I'm going to click on submit, and as soon as I'm going to click on submit, right over here it is saying your submission was successful. So now I'm going to open my Airtable account, and yes, you can see the details of Smart User, the mobile number, the email, the type of the apartment, and the city has been added right over here in my Airtable database without any manual efforts, right? So if you also want to create this automation for your business, then you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So what we have done is we have simply created a connection between our Elementor Form and our Airtable account with the help of Pabbly Connect, obviously, as I've already mentioned in my introduction. So to create this connection, I've already opened the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as you're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 hours free every month. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in, and as soon as you're going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly, but in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm just going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account, and as soon as we're going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I have already created in which I save my workflows. So if you wish to learn how to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can click on this hyperlink given right over here which says learn more, and now it is asking me for the workflow name. So for the workflow name I want it to be this which says how to add Elementor Form submission in Airtable, Elementor Form to Airtable, and then we're going to click on this button which says create, and as soon as we're going to click on create, it is opening the most important window for automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands, and as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So let's get started with the trigger application. Okay, so to start with this automation we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application I'm going to select it as Elementor right over here because I want that as soon as a new form submission is made in my Elementor, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm just going to search for Elementor and then we are going to select it, and now it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So here what I want is that as soon as a new form submission is made, my workflow should be started. So I'm just going to select the same as my trigger event, and as soon as we're going to select the trigger event, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're going to use the same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Elementor account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what we have to do is first we're going to copy this webhook URL and then we're going to follow this help text. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to first open the form we want to create this automation for. So as you can see that this is the form I want to create this automation for, and over here you can see the button of edit with Elementor. So we have to go on this button which says edit with Elementor right over here, and as soon as we're going to open this edit with Elementor, we have to select the fields right from here. We are going to close this form fields, and now from the left side of the bar we have to go to the actions after submit, and now we have to add an action right over here which says webbook. So I'm just going to search for webbook, and as you can see the same, so we're going to add it, and as soon as we're going to add the action right over here, you can see webbook appeared right over here too. So I'm just going to open this, and now it is asking me for the webbook URL. So what we're going to do is we are just going to copy this webbook URL and then paste it right over here under the webbook URL field. Now after pasting this, we have to click on this button which says publish, and as soon as we're going to click on publish, yes, you can see that with this we have successfully created a connection between this form, which is the Elementor form, and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webbook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webbook response, we have to do a test submission, which means that once again we have to submit a test lead. For that, I'm just going to click on this preview form, and as you can see that this is my form. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in this form details. So for the first name, I'm going to keep it as dummy. For the last name, we are going to keep it as user. This is the email, the mobile number. For the city, I'm going to keep it as Bangalore. For the types of apartment, I'm going to keep it as 1 BHK. I'm going to select the date and click on submit right over here, and as soon as we're going to click on submit, yes, you can see it is saying your submission was successful. So now what it has done is that it has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response, and as you can see that Pabbly has captured a response A right over here. You can see the same details which we entered. You can see the same type of the apartment. You can see the mobile number, the last name, the first name, the email, the date, and the city. These are the same details which we entered in our test submission, right? So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now what will happen is that as soon as a new form submission is made in my Elementor, automatically my workflow would be triggered, and Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same submission. So now further what I want is I want to add Elementor form submission in Airtable. Okay, so now for the action step, we are going to select it as Airtable. So I'm just going to search for Airtable right over here, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select it, and after selecting this, it is asking me for the action event. So for the action event, we are going to select it as create record and click on connect, and as soon as I'm going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Airtable account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then once again we have to click on this blue button which says connect with Airtable, and as soon as we're going to click on this blue button, you can see that it is saying Pabbly is requesting to access Airtable account. Okay, so Pabbly is asking me for some permissions right over here. So yes, we can give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because our data is secure with Pabbly. Okay, so I'm just going to select my base right over here to give the Pabbly the permissions for the same. So here you can see the name of my base is leads. So we're going to search for same, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select leads right over here, and after selecting the base, we have to click on this button which says grant access, and as soon as we're going to click on grant access, yes, you can see authorization successful. With this, we have successfully connected our Airtable account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow, and over here you can see that it is asking me to select the base name. So as you can see, the name of my base is leads, which we recently gave the permissions for. So we are going to select the same right over here only, which is leads, and now it is asking me to select the table name. So for me it is table 1, so we have selected the same right over here, and now it is asking me for the name, mobile number, email, type of the apartment, and city. So you might notice that these are the same details which we have entered in the columns right over here in the database, right? So yes, we're going to enter the lead details right over here one by one so that we can enter the same lead details into our Airtable account, but we're not going to enter the lead details manually or copy paste the details from the previous response, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Elementor as our trigger application. So we're going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So over here I'm going to give you an example that it is asking me for the name, right? So let's say that I'm going to enter the name right over here manually by typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if we're going to map this from the previous response, suppose I'm going to erase it right from here, we're going to look for name in the previous response, and as you can see, first name, last name. So let's say that we're going to map this name from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. So as you can see, we map the first name, put a space, and then the last name, and as we map the name, we are going to map the another details too. We're going to look for mobile number in the previous response and we're going to map it. Same we're going to do with the email. I'm going to look for email, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We're going to map the rest of the details too. For the apartment, I'm going to look for apartment right over here. You can see 1 BHK. We are going to look for the city right over here. You can see Bangalore. records. We're going to map it. And after mapping all of these details, we're going to move on forward and click on this blue button once again which says save and send as request. And as soon as we're going to do so, yes, you can see that it is saying that it has successfully added these details into my Airtable database too. Okay, so I'm just going to open my Airtable and check for the new details added. And yes, you can see the new details have been added right over here automatically. You can see the name, you can see the mobile number, you can see the email, the type of the apartment, and the city which we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, but I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open my form once again, and we're going to do another test submission with the new details. So as you can see, these are the details which I want to enter. I'm going to select all of these details and click on submit. And as soon as we're going to click on submit, yes, you can see your submission was successful. So now what has happened is that Elementor has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow, Pabbly captured the response, triggered this workflow, and further added the details into our Airtable account. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open my Airtable account and check for the details added in there. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly open my Airtable account right from here, and yes, you can see the lead details have been added right over here. You can see the name, the mobile number, the email, the type of the apartment, and the city automatically added without any manual efforts. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and we've also tested this in real time. So now I'll just summarize it for you once. So for the trigger application, we selected Elementor. For the trigger event, we selected new form submission. For the action application, we selected Airtable, and then for the action event, we selected create record, because I wanted that as soon as the new form submission is made in my Elementor, automatically the details of the same should be created as a record in my Airtable, which just should be added in my Airtable account without any manual efforts. And yes, we were successful with our workflow too. Over here you can see the details I added in my Airtable account with the help of this workflow during this video. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.